thoughts. Hey, free thoughts. Hey, free thoughts. Free thought media ṣáwọn lógbòde mo wí o. Free thought media ṣáwọn lógbòde o. Free thought media ṣáwọn lógbòde mo wí o. Free thought media ṣáwọn lógbòde.
Welcome to Free Thought Show, where your opinion matters to us. It's all about African culture. And my name is Samuel Adefila Abidoye. With me today is Most Rev'd Prophet Abidoye, the general leader, the general chairman of the CNS Church Movement, Nigeria and overseas. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Please, could you introduce yourself to our viewers? Your name, sir?
My name is Reverend Dr. Samuel Adefila Abidoye.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, what can you tell us about the CNS Church Movement as a whole?
Oh, man. I can tell you what I know. I've been in the movement as far back as 1938. So, been my way in my life and everything. I became a member of the sect or the church about 1938. Though I was baptized by Samuel in 1936, but by 1938, I left the Samuels and joined the Cherubim and Seraphim Church movement in my town, which is Umuara in Kwara State, Nigeria. Well, I've been in the church for some time now. I started this in Nigeria, and I was there for years. I was going to the church and doing what other churches are supposed to do. But I wrote some books about the church when I was in England, about 1976. Because we joined the World Council of Churches in 1976. And what they told us was that when I wrote to them that we want to be a member of World Council of Churches, the letter they wrote to me was that if we are a member of Church Together in London, in Europe, it's called CBI, Church, CBI, the Church of Britain and Ireland. That was what it was called in 1976, but now it's called Church Together in England. They said if we have to be a member of the World Council of Churches, we have to join the British Council of Churches, CBI, in Ireland and Britain churches. So we joined that church. We joined the church together with all members, all Christians in London, as far as I'm concerned. So we go to meeting always in Swanwick since 1976 or so that we have joined them. Now, besides that, I was in the church for years, but when I was in the railways, when I joined the church, I was in Tory when Queen Elizabeth and Prince came to Nigeria. I was working as station master at Itori, but by 1959, the railway was sold to cooperative body. And you ask us, those who are in the railway, to choose if you want to work with another government ministry or so, or otherwise we want pension, and pension, we can take pension. There are two types of pension. Pension with small gratuity, or gratuity without pension. That were the 2 points. Then I said I will not continue with any ministry, government ministry. Then I will go up to the north and see whether I can work with get a job. Because I come from the north. I come from Umwana, which is in Kwara State, Nigeria. So, and Loni was our capital town also. So I was thinking of going back there because I've been working with the railways for about 15 or 14 years, 1944 to 1959, working the railway then. So I decided not to go with any government service. I resigned. I took the pension with a small gratuity, and I have been a pensioner since 1959 to date. Well, I worked with them, and when they sold it, I went to the north, because we are in the north, as I said, and hoping that I'll get job in the north. But unfortunately for me, I didn't get immediate job as I expected. And when I decided that I have to return to my province, then it was called province, to Lorraine province. Just about a day to that day, somebody just came to me and told me that they are employing people in the Ministry of Agriculture. So, right, I will go there, and I went there and I got this job. You want to ask me why do I start by that way? I started by that because I was in semester when I was baptized in 1936. I was in Kiriban Savo in 1938. I joined Kiriban Savo. And my Google now being in Kaduna gave me the advantage of going every day to the church when I didn't get job to do. But when I would have started going back to Ilorin, just about 2 or 3 hours, I said, all right, I'll be waiting for a train to come and go to Ilorin. Somebody just came to me and said, Alagba. I said, yes. I should say, go to Ministry of Agriculture, they are employing people there. Okay. I said, oh, that may be good. I went to the in the Ministry of Agriculture, and I was employed because I held the highest qualification then, middle 4. So I was employed there. And it allowed me, you see, during the time I didn't get job, I spent most of my time mostly in the church, doing maintenance about the church. When I was working the railway, I couldn't follow any church about. But when I became unemployed for about 2 or 3 months, I was going to the church in Kaduna. So by that time, I became a pure Christian. Now I can go to church, which was not possible when I was working the railway, because we worked day and night. So by that now I became somebody who is very much interested in the cherubim and serving church. Now, because I decided then, because there was an advertisement that they are employing people in the Ministry of Information, and I wanted then to go to England and learn how to be a photographer, because I know that I was doing that, which I learned when I was in railway, I learned how to use a camera and everything like that in 1953. You know, when I'm not on job in the evening, I go to the photograph. I mean, to our master who was teaching us photography. So when I decided to go to England for photography, I was thinking my mother is old. I will come quickly and then come and take care of her. I left and went to London. And on reaching London, it was the day that President John I will remember it. Okay, it was the day that President of John J.F. Kennedy became the President of America, the same 20th. That was the day that I reached London. So I was in London doing what I could do. But don't forget, I said I was doing church work for about, in Kaduna. I've become so used to it. I started going to the church, Westminster Abbey, near Parliament in London. But the way they were treating us then, discrimination was always very hard then. So when we sit down like this, we hardly see anybody sitting, black sitting there. White people sitting with us, except another black man sit by you. This annoys me. Well, if they are doing this in England, where Christianity was brought, I don't, that was what I was thinking. Where Christianity was brought, then I'd better stay at home to worship my God, which is different from the way the other churches are worshiping. Lucky enough for me, because I entered London in 1961, and I bought my house in 1953. So by that, I could find a place where I can worship my God. That was my thinking, and that's what I was doing with that small room, which I reserved for church. So when people were hearing that I have a church or so, many people know about cherubim and service, and they start coming. We start praying together, and we find other people are from cherubim and service. Then I said, well, the best is we continue to worship at home where we can worship our God. There is no discrimination. There was somebody in the north London, who was then doing house fellowship, as we are doing down here. Well, we had said some of our members from Nigeria came to England. First of all, Peter Korode, Special Apostle Peter Korode. He worked in the railway, not in the north, at Zaria. And he knew some of these people there. So when he came, we were expecting these people who he knew when they come to London, because some of many people, they will be able to come to us so that we can worship together. But God doesn't make it that way. When Fakaya was one of those people coming, I told my cousin, because Peter Korode, Special Apostle, was my cousin, whether we can invite him and the other people from Zaria when they are coming to come and stay in my house so that we can start our church together. But as will happen, none of them came to us, except Peter Korode was my cousin. Anyhow, we started house fellowship here, and decided one in the north. Eventually, I can remember that claim here, Joseph, I will remember his name. I seem to be forgetting name. sorry, when I remember I mentioned it to you. Let's move forward. So we started worshiping there. Then eventually, Fadi Paso came to us and told me that there were praying household fellows praying in the north, and we are in the north, suggesting that why don't we both join together and become something like a church, where you can't just hire a house somewhere and making us there in England in those days, nothing like it. But I'm the owner of the house where I was staying, so I was able to start clamping and trying to make a church. So by 1956, we joined together and formed the church, Cherubim and Seraphim Movement Church, in 1965. I think it was 5 of June 1965, we started the church. So the church grew from small to big church. And to your surprise, if you go to England now, we see several churches. And they elected the first black church of Cherubim and Seraphim in 1971 in England. So we thank God, and their church was growing. Go to Italy, we go to Catholic, anywhere. By that time, was moving from place to place, because being the one who brought the church to England, I became nearly their Baba Aladra. And so many people invite me to their meeting or prayer. And that's how we started the Cherubim and Seraphim in England. That was going on like that, and many churches were springing up. By 1971, when we want to dedicate the church, which we bought, after hiring churches, Wayhouse, Shepherd Bush, and other places, eventually bought our own church in 1959. And in 1971, we invited all the head of the churches we know to England. And if you go to Elm Grove now, you see the picture we took consists of all head of churches we know then, except the northern, except movement. We happen to be my own church. Baba Aladra Koka was on the throne when I left Nigeria. I think he died in 1915 or so, when we were getting our church. So he was the person who was not able to come. Captain Abiodun, many of other churches from Lagos, they came to Koka, and many of them, they came to London to dedicate the church for us. And if you go there now, you find it at Elm Grove. That is how we were there, and the church was growing. By that, the Cherubim and Seraphim Church movement was growing. It was growing. So I started coming home to attend their meeting. We formed ourselves to a district under the Cherubim and Seraphim Church movement. And now it's not more under the conference, under the movement, because I've changed it to Cherubim and Seraphim Church when we joined the World Council of Churches, because they said we cannot be under a church, then to be one of the... So I made that of Elm Grove Cherubim and Seraphim Church, and that's what it bears now. But it was established by me and some other people as a movement church. And that's how it was registered in 1971. So it's I would say nearly different from other churches, because it's registered with World Council of Churches.
Now, sir, what is the difference between the internal Sacred Order and the Cherubim and Seraphim? Is there a difference between the two, or they are the same body?
And children and Sabu worldwide, we are all the same thing. Though there's some practice here, there, and there which does not allow us to be together as one body. Some people wear cap in the church. Some people do other things. But as a movement, we say, as far as we are concerned, we do the Bible. Evangelical group. So we are, body but pure Christian. Without some people may not be, because we are so many now. We are everywhere. America, London, Italy, and so many other places. We don't have churches there.
So, Daddy, how do you cope? How do you cope within Nigeria and all these churches in Europe? How do you manage the whole churches?
Well, I became the head of churches, children and Sabo in 2005, I became member of children and Sabo. By 2005, I was chosen to be head of the churches. What we do is that we are registered. Your church, your church. Now we happen to be the biggest church of cherubim and seraphim. Your question is what, please? Sorry.
No problem, sir. Okay, as it is now, where do you see CNS church movement in the next 5 years?
Where
do you find the church in the next 5 years?
Where?
As in, where would you see CNS church be in the next 5 years?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, the age is there.
Yeah, I can understand, sir.
Well, I don't know. God can do anything. But I was the one that was sent to go and start what we call, because mostly our church is not a church that talk to we don't do what we want to do. It was one of my sleep that somebody just woke me. He said, go and read Matthew 26, verse 32. And I read it. I called my PA, come and see what the Bible, the Spirit say. I should go and read Matthew 26, verse 32, which means after my death, I go before you to Galilee. You don't go to Galilee in October. We go to Galilee in April. So we joke with that. But the third day to that, the Holy Spirit fell on me so heavily. And he told me where we are gathering, we call it Galilee. And now we have what we call Galilee between Ilorin and Ogbomoso, kilometer 24 to Ilorin. And I want to see, if possible, if you can go there and see what God is doing there, you'll be embarrassed. Because even though we started there, not more than, the Ephesians came in 2009. By 2011, we start. Some of our people started there, and we were doing some. They are going there occasionally, but as God lived, things were changed, and many people love the place now because it is a place where we find that we have comfort, the land which is our own. And you go there now, we have fine houses, good buildings, auditorium, church, and so on. So this is how far we have been able to expand. And you say about 5 years now, well, I don't know where it will be by that time, but I'm starting the Children and Sabo Church movement would have gone far and far because we are just starting. If you see the church, let's say, about 10 years to this time, you will be embarrassed to see the development that has happened. If you go to this Galilee, I say, oh my God, you praise God. But as our church is a divine church. We don't get most of our thing we do, or we don't do it from our head. We do it by instruction from God.
Okay, lastly, that is if you could clear this view,
Hmm?
why does CNS church movement or CNS church as a whole uses candle and water?
Some people still use we use water generally, because water we bless water for everything. Okay,
Yes, sir.
we are a church that use candle was one of the things we used before. Some people use it nowadays, but you hardly can see it anywhere much. Some people use electrical candle, which is made, but some people don't even bother about any light or so. Anyhow, because I want to say we are changing, I don't know, I would say we are changing a bit. Normally we use with candle, but sometimes people go without candle. Our Christianity has grown so much that we trust in God in doing everything. He shows all the way. Going to Galilee, if you could see what we did today in the church, you see that it's not like the olden day. If you knew the olden days, we have changed from one condition to another, not by ourselves, by divine instruction. As far as I'm concerned, I don't do anything without having it from God. If you tell me to do this, I do it. And what we have done so far, not our thinking. So that when I talk to people, I said, the Galilee was not created by me; it was created by God, who said we should call the place Galilee, and it become a pride of children's of church movement. Because I wish you can be there, the only one of our gathering. You will see the place white, so many white. And may Father rest in perfect peace. In 2013, I called him and said, Gabriel said, yes, come and look. When you look at the people, there are so many, the whole thing was white. And we said, let's go this way. We found them here. So God is doing his wonder. But God said to predict what will happen in 5 years or even a year, I don't do it. If I accept God show me something, I don't predict it and I don't say anything. If you ask,
Thank you very much, sir. It's nice having you. Sorry for taking your time, sir. Thank you very much.
thank you.
We're most grateful.